Now we'll resize both the images into same size. As we can see above, the size of the images differ. So now we'll save both these images into same format and same size. This function will resize the images into 250 by 160. Also, you can see here that I am saving the original file, which is in the JPG format, into the PNG format here. This will save our JPG format into PNG format and in the PAN card tempering folder. So let's run this cell and save our images into the directory we have created with the same size. As we can see here, the size of both the images is reduced to 250 by 160 and now both are in PNG format. We can check the images here also. Here we have original image and the tampered one. Similarly, we can change the required type from PNG to JPG. We just need to save it as the format we want. We have already used it as a PNG, so we can skip this step. But if you need to change this to a different format, you can do by running this cell and changing the formats. Now let us visualize the original and the tampered images that we have. So for that, we'll simply run original and see the original image. So this is the original image of the PAN card we are using. We'll use this image to compare the tampered one with this. Now let us see the tampered one. So this is the tampered image or the user provided image. The image that the user will provide to the organization, his ID, PAN card in this case. We'll compare this tampered one with the original one and find the similarities or dissimilarities between both the images to know whether the image is tampered or not. Now let us load these images using CV2 and apply some of the CV2 functions on it. So for loading these images using CV2, we'll use the cv2.imread function and read these images from the PAN card tempering folder. In which image folder? Let's run this cell and load these images using CV2 so that we can apply CV2 functions on them. As you can see, the cells have been loaded. So now we have original and tampered image using cv2.imread function. Now we'll convert these images into grayscale format because in image processing, many of the application doesn't help us in identifying the important edges of the colored images. Also, the colored images are a bit complex to understand by machine because they have 3 channels, that is RGB, while the grayscale has only 1 channel. So we'll use CV2 functions to convert this image from color to grayscale. So as you can see here, we have changed the variable name as original gray and we used cv2.cvtcolor original and convert it to cv2.color gray. This will convert the images into grayscale. Both the images we have convert original as well as tampered. Now let's run this cell and convert our images. So we have converted our images into grayscale. Now the most important step is to find the structural similarity between both the images. Structural similarity means structure of the image is compared to the structure of the other image and difference between them is noted as a similarity index score. So now let us find out the structural similarity index between the two images. For this we have used structural similarity, which we have imported above, and we have passed both the images, the original gray image and the tampered gray image. Now let's run this. For the difference, we are dividing it by 255 to normalize it and printing the SSIM score. Now let's run this cell and find out the similarity score. So as you can see here that the similarity score is 0.31, which is 31%. So the structural similarity index, it helps us to determine exactly where in terms of XY coordinates, the location, the image differences are. Here we have tried to find out the similarities between the original and the tampered image. But as we can see here that the SSIM score is pretty low. So we can say that the images are not much similar to each other. They are around 31% similar to each other. But that's not the only thing that we need to compare, or we need to make a decision on that whether the image is tampered or not. So let's see what else we can do. So let's find out the threshold and the contours of the images. In CV2, all these functions are predefined. You don't need to worry about them. So we'll start with CV2.threshold and find out the threshold of the image. Similarly, we'll find out the contours of the image using the find contours function. And these contours are then grabbed by the imutils function. The imutils grab contours. Here you can see that CV2.threshold, we pass the difference that we calculated above. Image size is 0 to 255, and we convert this into threshold binary, and similarly threshold OTSU. We'll save these value into the thresh variable and the contours value into CNTS variable. Now let's run this cell and save these values. So the threshold function, it applies an adaptive threshold to the image which is stored in the form of array. This function, it transforms the grayscale image into a binary image using a mathematical formula in the backend. Similarly, for finding the contours, we need to use the function find contours, and it works on the binary image to retrieve the contours of the images. These contours are really useful tool for shape analysis and recognition. We'll use imutils to grab these contours and apply them later on. So the next step will be creating a bounding rectangle of the image. So creating a bounding rectangle, we need to use the contours. So we are looping over the contours we have stored in CNTS, and we are creating a CV2.rectangle over the image using this function. So in this loop, as you can see, we are trying this loop for C in contours, and we are using X, Y, width and height. That is the CV2.bounding rectangle. A rectangle has X length, Y, width and height. And for finding this, we are using the CV2.rectangle function, passing the original image. This will create the bounding rectangle for the original image, while this one will create the bounding rectangle for the tampered image. So the bounding rectangle, it helps us in finding the ratio of the width to height of the bounding rectangle of the object. We compute the bounding box of the contour and then draw the bounding box on both input images to represent where two images are different or not. Now let's run this cell and create our bounding boxes. As you can see, the code has run. So we have created the bounding rectangle. Now we just need to visualize the images using different functions. So first we'll display the original image with the contour we have created. So as you can see here, this is the original image with the contours. You can see here that this income tax department is a different contour. Similarly, different functions we can see here, different bounding boxes we can see here for each and every element on the PAN card. This is the original one. Now let us see the contour version of the tampered image and how it looks in terms of similarities. So here we can see that it is not much different from this one, but yeah, it has some differences in it. So we can say that contours didn't help us in deciding whether the images are similar or not, as we can see here that there are not much differences between both the images. Now let's visualize the difference between the images with black, and for that we'll use the from array difference image. Let's plot this. So here you can see that it will show only the difference. If there is no difference between the original image and the tampered image, we won't be seeing these black portions. These black portions only display the difference between both the images. As we have already calculated the difference above, that difference is used here in the different images, and the difference is shown in the black one. This black portion, as you can see here in the image, all the black portion, it is the difference between the original image and the tampered one. Similarly, we'll find the threshold with white. Let's visualize that. So here we can see that the threshold difference between the original and the tampered one is really high, as the white portion here you can see this white portion, it shows the threshold difference between the original and the tampered one. And you can see that it has a much difference because a white portion has acquired most of the space in this image. So we can say that the images are not similar, they are different from each other up to a certain extent. So from both these images, this difference image and this threshold image and the SSIM score, we can conclude that the image the user provided us that we have stored in the tampered variable, it is actually a tampered image. And you see how easily we have calculated the SSIM index and came to this conclusion. So the summary of this project is we find out the structural similarity of the images, which helped us in finding the difference or the similarity in the shape of these images. Similarly, we find out the threshold and the contours based on those threshold for the images. We converted them into grayscale binary. Also helped us in shape analysis and recognition. As we have seen that our SSIM score is around 31.2%, we can say that the image user provided is fake or tampered. Finally, in the end, we visualize the differences between the images using the displaying image with contours, difference and threshold. The scope of this project is, this project can be used in different organizations where customers or users need to provide any kind of ID in order to get themselves verified. The organizations can use this project to find out whether the ID is original or fake. Similarly, this can be used for any type of ID like Aadhaar, voter ID, etc. You just need to replace the original file with the original ID. That is, if you want to do it for Aadhaar, or if you want to do it for voter ID, or if you want to do it for any other ID or any other document, you just need to upload the original document in the original one and the other one that you need to compare in the different variable name, and follow the same format as we have done in this project.